It's Scallywagathon time. I like that my hat takes up most of the frame, but if you're a pirate, you need to have a big hat, so that's just the rule. After being missing from the scene for 5 years, Scallywagathon is back and better than ever. Scallywagathon is a month-long pirate-themed readathon, and it's hosted by Allie both here on YouTube and over on Twitch. I'm going to link all of her information below so that way you can get all the information you need. If you can't wait though, you can go to scallywagathon.com right now to find out the lore, the 3 different ways that you can participate, start reading through the prompts, and start picking your books. Scallywagathon has 3 different ways to participate, and I'm going to be taking the mapped path, which is the OG way, since this will be my first time participating in Scallywagathon. I also came up with a character, even though that 100% wasn't part of the readathon. Allie was like, you don't have to do that. And I was like, I have a hat. Why would I not come up with a character? So I'm going to be starting at Shattered Mast, and the goal is to get to the Lost City and find the treasure. She's also come up with a bunch of lore, a bunch of backstory for every single path that you take, which is really exciting because I love lore. So I'm starting at Shattered Mast, and for the prompt there, it's Trust and Treachery. It's a book involving betrayal, loyalty, or testing alliances. And for this prompt, I'm going to be reading a pirate classic, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I've got my notes right here just because there's a lot to this readathon and I don't want to mess it up, especially if I'm going for treasure at the Lost City. I can't get lost. So from Shattered Mast, I'm going to the Veiled Monastery. The prompt there is Sea Legends, a book based on or has myths or fairy tales. And for that one is going to be another pirate book, On Stranger Tides by Tim Powers. From the Veiled Monastery, we're going to Howler's Rest Ruins, and I think a lot of us are going to end up there, so there's going to be a whole bunch of pirates in one place. You never know what's going to happen. For Howler's Rest, the prompt is At World's End, a book about isolation or survival, and that's one of my favorite types of book to read. It's really interesting for me to get into this character's head when they have to fight for their life to survive. For that one it's going to be a pirate adjacent book because there aren't pirates in it, but there are ships. And it's going to be Island of the Lost by Joan Druett. From Howler's Rest, we're going over to Dreadspire, where the prompt is Taking on Water, a book that has over 400 pages. And we're going back to pirate books with The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker. This one's actually been on my TBR for a couple of months now, and about the 400 pages, while I was trying to pick out books, it just happened to be that most of the books that I was choosing as options or as a final choice were all really big books. So I guess most of these could have fallen into that category. From Dreadspire, we are on to the Lost City, the final space on the map, the place we are trying to go. The prompt there's 3 different ways to choose a prompt for the Lost City. Allie has done, you start at either space 1, 2, or 3, and when you get to the Lost City, you can choose any of those prompts. But the key is that she's come up with, I've started at space number 2, Shattered Mast. There's going to be a storyline for each of the prompts. So I could end at space 1 or space 3, and the story is going to wrap up no matter what. But if I choose prompt 2, it ties this big story in where I start at Shattered Mast, and then it ties the story up with the second prompt. So if I start at Shattered Mast, which is number 2, I can choose space 2 at the Lost City, and it ties up this big storyline. And that was also a reason that I decided to take the map path, because I love a good storyline in a readathon. I just love a good storyline in any kind of challenge. So the second prompt, which should tie up my storyline, is Buried Treasure, a book on my TBR that I think is going to be 5 stars, which was a little hard to do. There were a lot that I had high hopes for, but I wasn't getting a 5-star vibe from them. But I ended up choosing another book that just recently I added to my TBR, which is Natural Beauty by Ling Huang. That should wrap up all of my books and all of my prompts, and I need to check them out from the library. I'm really excited because pirates are always fun. Allie is such a creative person, and I've never been able to participate in Scallywagathon, so because this has come back, it's better than ever. She's come up with lore, come up with a whole bunch of new ways to participate. All of us are getting really psyched. All of us are super stoked. Pretty much everyone in the chat, when she announced it on her Twitch stream, we started planning that day. I think everybody or most people already have their prompts picked out, books picked out, they're ready to go. I've got my prompts picked out. I also have my books picked out. I need to go get them and get started. So I hope that you will join us. It runs the entire month of July. I'm going to link all the information down below in the description box. And we are also going to be having a 24-hour readathon with Allie on YouTube and on Twitch. But all of that information is at scallywagathon.com if you just cannot wait and you want to get started now. So I hope you'll join us. Grab your books, grab your fellow pirates. It's time to set sail.